Hare Krishna. Let's quickly do Mangalacharan. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan Ki Jai. Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai. Samaveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Just a quick announcement before we get started. So on 14th of February, which is next Monday, we are celebrating the divine appearance of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Nityananda Trayadasi Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai. So for those of you who like to participate in sponsoring the items towards organizing this festival, you can do so. You will see the information in our website as well as in our WhatsApp group. So you can do whatever you like. And as we were discussing last week, the only way to gain the favor of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu is by serving Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And if we want the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, then we have to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a wonderful opportunity for us to gain the favor of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply by participating, simply by organizing this beautiful festival of Lord Nityananda Trayadasi, some Divine Appearance Day. Every year, we always look forward to Nityananda Trayadasi because if you take any year towards the end of the year, we'll celebrate Sri Radhashtami, usually in September. And Radhashtami is the last festival when we have an Abhishek. And then you have to wait until Nityananda Prabhu appears. So we start with Lord Nityananda, again, most merciful form of the Lord's appearance, and we celebrate the festival until the holy appearance of Srimati Radharani herself. So it's a beautiful festival. So those of you who like to participate by sponsoring any of the items, please do so. And in regard to our Caitanya Caritamrta classes, we were just looking at the schedule. Last week, we were not certain about how it will be, at least for rest of this month. As I said, I'll inform at the start of the week. So for this week, we'll have Caitanya Caritamrta class from Monday to Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And for next week, Monday we won't have because we'll be celebrating Nityananda Trayadasi. But we'll still have on Tuesday and Wednesday. So for rest of the month, we'll have on the first 3 days of the week. So let's continue. We are in the penultimate chapter of Madhya Lila. Chapter 24, there is one more chapter before we move to Antya. So we are in this beautiful chapter, explanation of Atmarama, verse 61 explanations. So after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gives the instructions on bhakti to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami requests for the Supreme Lord to give him his mercy. So he will be empowered to go and preach bhakti. Prabhupada says we have no qualification to preach bhakti at all. We cannot. In the pastime of Krishna marrying his queens, in many instances you will see Satya, Bhadra, Kalindi, we were discussing last week. When Satya knows Krishna has arrived to marry her, she feels totally unqualified to serve the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada says that should be the attitude of every sadhaka, that we are totally unqualified to serve the Supreme Lord because we have nothing in our possession that is capable of pleasing the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada says the only offering we can make to the Supreme Lord is having proper consciousness, proper attitude. That's the only thing we can have. And Supreme Lord, out of His costless mercy, He'll come down, accept the service, and He'll be pleased. So out of His costless mercy, He should be pleased. Just like sometimes a child may do something just as a joke, just as a game, just as a play. They may even build a castle out of sand. The parents, out of their costless mercy, should still acknowledge the great achievement of the child out of their costless mercy. So same way, Shri Radha Gopinath being our supreme parents, we have nothing to give them, nothing to please them. We have nothing that is capable of pleasing them. Nevertheless, simply if we have our proper attitude and offer it with a proper bhava, proper consciousness, then Prabhupada says, then Supreme Lord out of His costless mercy will be pleased. Radhanath Maharaj says, otherwise we can get proud even by cleaning toilet, thinking that I'm doing very humble service. I'm a very humble devotee. There is no limit to our inconceivable consciousness what to do. So it's very easy to get carried away. So Prabhupada says that should be the proper attitude. So Sanatana Goswami, he was not proud. Look at me. I was such a great minister. I've given up everything. I could have lived like that, but see, look at my humility. I'm taking shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was not his consciousness at all. He was feeling very fortunate. He was feeling very grateful for being a recipient of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, and in that consciousness, taking a straw between his teeth, it's given. In Vedic times, that's considered an expression, extreme expression of gratitude, actually. You take a straw, bite between your teeth, and then you bow down. So that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is being approached by Srila Sanatana Goswami. So he then approaches the Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord then gives him the knowledge, and he gives him the instruction also. We saw how he told him to write books about bhakti, to excavate the holy places in Vrindavan especially, to establish deity worship, so on and so forth, we saw. So after hearing all those instructions, Sanatana Goswami is then humbly petitioning the Supreme Lord to give more insights on this Atmarama verse. Atmaramascha muneyo nirgrantapi urukrame kurvanti ahaitu bhaktim ittam bhuta gunohari. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already given many explanations on this particular verse to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. In the past also you will see. Now he is asking him if he can similarly enlighten him with the meaning of this verse. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his costless mercy, he then gives 61 more explanations, which he hasn't recited in the past. So Bhava Vibhushana Prabhu, he started on this one last Thursday. Friday we couldn't have the class because there was a kirtan that was organized. So this is Madhya Leela chapter 24 verse 36. The word Ittam Bhuta, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dissecting the verse into each one of those words, and he is giving purport and explanation on each one of them. So this is verse 36. The word Ittam Bhuta is transcendentally exalted because it means full of transcendental bliss. So the meaning of the verse Atmarama is the Supreme Lord is so great, self-satisfied. There is nothing outside that is actually needed for him to be pleased because he is self-sufficient. Whatever he needs, he has everything. That Supreme Lord is still the object of worship. Worshipping him still brings pleasure not only to ordinary fallen conditioned souls, not only to devotees, but also to liberated souls who are also considered Atmarama to a limited extent. So somebody who's a jnani, he will come across that they have nothing to attain in this world. Still Krishna would say, still you do your duty to set some good example. You would see Krishna saying that in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna would even give example of Janaka Maharaj. You will come across instances. 2nd chapter also Krishna speaks about doing your duty In Bhagavad Gita you will see. So even though they have nothing to, so they also have nothing to do, they also have nothing to gain. Nevertheless, simply meditating on the Supreme Lord, worshipping the Supreme Lord is still bringing inexplicable pleasure in their heart. So that's the verse. So now Krishna is, or rather Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is continuing to dissect the verse into each of the words, and then he is giving more explanations on each one of them. The word Itam Bhuta is transcendentally exalted because it means full of transcendental bliss. Before this transcendental bliss, the bliss derived from merging into the existence of the absolute Brahmananda becomes like a piece of straw in comparison. So in terms of happiness, there are different levels that are given. Jadananda, the happiness that's derived from material enjoyment, with trying to enjoy things which are inanimate, which has no meaning, which has no, rather, senses, which is not sentient. So that's called Jada. So you'll come across instance of Rishabdev practicing in 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll see Jada Yoga. Or you'll come across instance of Jada Bharat also, that's how he gets the name. Jada means, in South India, if you are very lethargic, that's one word they'll use to address. Don't be like a Jada. So that's called Jata Yoga. So somebody who is a materialist, they may try to derive some happiness from material sense objects, and the happiness that comes out of that is called Jadananda. Higher than Jadananda is Brahmananda. So that's what it's given. Brahmananda means somebody who has transcended the limitations of the body and trying to enjoy the bliss that comes out of, not really enjoy, somebody who is realized, and because of their knowledge, realized knowledge, they feel a bliss, understanding that they are not the body, they are the spirit soul. So that level of transcendental happiness is Brahmananda. Higher than Brahmananda is Premananda. When one develops love, selfless love for the Supreme Lord, so that's considered even higher. Higher than Premananda also there is another level of happiness. It's called Sevananda. One who serves the Supreme Lord. The taste that comes, the bliss that comes out of doing devotional service. Simple things. Moving mat. Have you got that experience? So many times there is so much rubbish in your home. You may move. It's such a common thing. But you come and do in the temple, you feel very happy. Come on. 5 mats is such a great thing. Even a kid can do. Come on. You will still pick it up or put it there and you will look very proudly. Yeah, I have cleaned the temple room. There's something very joyful that comes out of that. I've spoken to some parents and they say, even sometimes you will see kids coming, helping, cleaning, even trying to distribute prasad, the books. And I tell the parents, you have trained your kids very nicely. Some parents say, Prabhu, actually that's not true. These kids in home, they are naughty, but when they come to temple alone, somehow, they just have the taste and they start to do service. So, it's like that. So, there is a certain joy that comes. We can't really explain, but we feel very joyful. Nobody pays us for that. That's one question we get asked as brahmacharis when we go on distributing books. So, how much do people pay you? Nothing. Nothing? Come on. So, the joy that comes out of doing devotional service, that's considered the highest. So, here the comparison is made between before this transcendental bliss, the bliss derived from merging into the existence of Absolute. Which means, compared to Brahmananda, Premananda and Sevananda is considered much, much more higher, highest. In fact, Brahmananda it's given compared to Premananda. Brahmananda is considered to be a piece of straw. So that's the comparison Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives. My dear Lord, O Master of the Universe, since I have directly seen you, my transcendental bliss has taken the shape of a great ocean. Being situated in that ocean, I now realize all other so-called happiness to be like the water contained in the hoof print of a calf. Lord Krishna is so exalted that he is more attractive than anything else and more pleasing than anything else. He is the most sublime abode of bliss. By his own strength, he causes one to forget all other ecstasies. Pure devotional service is so sublime that one can easily forget the happiness derived from material enjoyment, material liberation, and mystic or yogic perfection. Thus the devotee is bound by Krishna's mercy and his uncommon power and qualities. So if you see Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an instance where Diti, Kashyapa, he had two wives, Diti and Aditi. Diti, she is the mother of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. When the Supreme Lord Vishnu, we see Yatechamsa Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Whenever somebody is coming and causing some trouble to Indra Ari. So the enemy of Indra, Ari is enemy, Indrari Vyakulam Lokam. Whenever there is an enemy of Indra, which is demons, whenever they come and cause disturbance to Indra, Supreme Lord comes for his protection and kills him. So Diti figures out the reason why my son Hiranyaksha was killed was, of course, Vishnu killed him. But why did Vishnu come? Because of Indra. So Indra is the enemy. So this is her conclusion. So then she asks her husband, Kashyapa, at a right moment, she is very humbly serving Kashyapa, pleases him, and when Kashyapa asks for, okay, what do you want? What boon can I give you? Then she says, please give me a son who will be able to kill Indra. Then Kashyapa curses himself. My God, what trap did I fall under? Because Indra is also his son, another wife's son. So now he is thinking, what can I do? So then he thinks about it, and then he very intelligently devises a vrata. It's actually devotional service. But he doesn't say to Diti that it is devotional service. He says, you have to remember the Supreme Lord 3 times a day. So if you read that section, it's very interesting. So there, using his intelligence, he comes up with a plan, with a sadhana program. And she says, so if I do this, will I actually get it? He says, like, yes, you will get it. You purify yourself, but then he puts a caveat also there. That somehow, if there is any breach in the quality of this, then the whole thing will get futile. So then she starts to follow, and you will see. Then simply by her following this, slowly her heart becomes cleansed. Now Indra, he also learns that my stepmother, she is actually doing something here to kill me. So Indra also comes. If you look at Vedic culture, it's so beautiful. Just like you will see even when Drishtadumna, he was born of the sacrificial fire, Drupada sends Drishtadumna to Dronacharya to learn about the art of warfare. For what? So that he can kill Dronacharya again. In fact, the very reason why Drishtadumna was born was simply to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew about it. If you read first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, nevertheless, despite knowing that Drishtadumna is born to kill him, as a liberal Brahmana, Prabhupada says, he has still taught him how to use the weapons. Dhanur Vidya. So here also, Indra knew that my stepmother is after something, some ploy she is coming up with to kill me. So now he is also following his stepmother. Just like how she served Kashyapa to gain his favor, Indra is also going to his stepmother saying, now you are pregnant, let me actually serve you. And then he is staying from morning till evening, carrying water, doing this, helping her in her vrata, knowing very well vrata is only for killing him. So that when she fulfills that vrata, she will get a son with who will be able to kill Indra. So then Indra is also patiently waiting, and at one point he realizes one day Diti, because she is so tired practicing this sadhana, after taking prasad, she just dozes off without washing her hands and mouth. And that was enough for Indra. That little window was enough. Immediately he goes inside her womb and ready, using his weapon, he started to cut the embryo. But then when he was about to do that, he cuts 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 6, it just keeps on going, multiplying. And he is about to release his weapon to kill all of them. All of them, they say, Indra, why are you killing? We are your friends. We are actually demigods. Then Indra looks at them and he says like, yeah, that's true. You're all my brothers. All right, I will elevate you to the position of demigods. That's how 49 Maruts, they come to appear. So you will see that. So then finally, when she realizes, actually, even though she tried to conceive, somebody who is an enemy of Indra means must be a demon. But she ended up conceiving 49 Vaishnavas. You know? So you will see instance where even devotional service, little bit if somebody do, even without knowledge, they'll get the benefit. Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. On the other hand, anything other than devotional service if somebody do, even if there is a little blot in it, they won't get any result or get opposite result. You will see. Okay, so here the word guna means quality. The qualities of Krishna are transcendently situated. Madhya Lila chapter 24 text 41. This is Ittam Bhuta Guna Hari. The word guna means quality. The qualities of Krishna are transcendently situated and are unlimited in quantity. All of the spiritual qualities are full of transcendental bliss. You can think about it. You can simply sit, close your eyes, and you can meditate on beauty of Krishna. You can meditate on the chivalrous nature of Krishna. You can meditate on wealth of Krishna. Bona fide, 64 qualities. You can meditate on the wealth of Krishna. Even that will also give you bliss. How much wealth he had. When he gets married to Satya's father, if you read the description that's given in Srimad Bhagavatam, he literally sends billions of soldiers as part of the dowry he gave to Nagnajiti in Nagnajiti's marriage to Krishna. And thousands of horses, thousands of elephants, thousands of chariots, so on and so forth. When you meditate on the sheer vastness of Krishna's wealth, even that itself will elevate our consciousness. Ordinary material wealth will pull us down. Definitely. So here, guna means quality. Any quality of Krishna can be. Krishna's cunningness, Krishna's humility. You can just meditate on that. Rajasuya sacrifice, when all the guests came, Krishna took the service of washing their feet, wiping their feet. Supreme Lord, he is doing. If we think by driving the chariot of Arjuna, Krishna has demonstrated, epitomized humility, no. Krishna can better that. In Rajasuya sacrifice, that's what he did. He washed the feet of everyone. So, like that, any quality of Krishna we can take and we can meditate on it. Knowledge of Krishna, beauty of Krishna, intelligence of Krishna. One of Krishna's name is Suchi. You come and you look at Radha Gopinath, you can meditate on each one. Radha, clean. You look at them, clean. So one of Krishna's name is Suchi. Krishna's transcendental qualities of opulence, sweetness and mercy are perfect and full. As far as Krishna's affectionate leaning towards his devotees is concerned, he is so magnanimous that he can give himself to his devotees. Krishna gives himself to his devotees. Krishna has unlimited qualities. The devotees are attracted by his uncommon beauty, mellows and fragrance. Thus, they are differently situated in the different transcendental mellows. Therefore, Krishna is called all attractive. The minds of the four boy sages, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, were attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna by the aroma of the tulasi that had been offered to the Lord. Tasyaravinda Nayanasya Padaravinda Kinchalka Mishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu Antargatas Vivrena Chakaratesham Sankshobam Aksharajusham Apichitta Tanvo. When the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves. So this is the pastime of the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat. When all four of them, they were just randomly wandering. At the time, they have fragrance of the lotus feet of Krishna. Kinjalkam Mishra Tulasi. Mishra means mixed. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, we say. Mixed. Kinjalkam Mishra Tulasi. Tulsi leaf was also there. Buds of tulsi were also offered to the lotus feet of Krishna. They both were mixed. When that smell came, entered into their nostrils, they entered into transcendental bliss. They smelled their way back to the door of Vaikuntha. You will see that pastime. And when they go, that's when Jai Vijay, they stop. I was reading something interesting in 7th canto. Prabhupada is saying, and you know that pastime, they have, all four of them, they go, Jai Vijay, they are standing outside and they are saying, no, you little kids, go to kindergarten, you are not allowed. They four get upset and they curse. And then because of that pastime, then you see Jai Vijay coming down and taking 3 different appearances in different pastimes of the Lord. Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Dandavakra, Shishupala. You will come a Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, like that. Prabhupada says, one may think that how can someone like Jai Vijay, who are liberated, they don't have any material body, how can they be subject to curse? And Prabhupada is saying that externally it looks like they are cursed and they are taking material body, but actually they are already liberated, they can never take material body. So anything which they do, it's also in liberated platform. And Prabhupada says beautifully, Jai Vijay coming down and participating in the Supreme Lord's pastimes, it's exactly same as Krishna or Supreme Lord coming down as avatar and performing pastime. Avatar means to come from a higher platform to a lower platform, to come from a higher point to a lower point. So Krishna is coming from spiritual world to material world. Then we call avatar. Of course, Krishna himself when he comes, he is not avatar. He is Swayam Bhagavan, but anyone else, any expansion of the Lord, when they come, we call, okay, avatar. So here, now we usually attach this word avatar to someone who is in Vishnu Tattva. But Prabhupada here is saying, Jai and Vijay coming down from Vaikuntha to the material world is exactly same as Supreme Lord Vishnu also coming down from Vaikuntha to material world to perform pastime. So they also come to assist the Supreme Lord to perform the pastime. They come because Vishnu likes to fight. He also has the tendency to fight. But Vishnu doesn't fight with any random person. He wants an equal opponent who can give him a tough fight. So he can enjoy. So simply when Jai Vijay, when they sense that desire of the Lord, they volunteer for the service. And that's how they came down. So here you see when the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves, when it simply entered into the nostrils, it brought a transformation. And in the heart of the 4 Kumaras, who until that point they were impersonalists. Impersonalist means they thought Supreme Lord has got no form. The Brahman effulgence that's coming from the body of the Supreme Lord, they felt this is the Lord. They couldn't understand that the Brahman is just the bodily effulgence of the Supreme Lord. Altar is closed, it will open again at 9 o'clock. Hare Krishna. The next Arati is at 9 o'clock. You can sit down and you can attend. Okay, so this is what the 4 Kumaras they were thinking. But when they saw the Supreme Lord, then they realized that yes, Supreme Lord also has got a form. So here, this was verse 46. Shukadev's mind was carried away by hearing the pastimes of the Lord. Similarly, Shukadev Goswami also. Initially, he wasn't aware, according to the pastime. He pretends that he doesn't know. But actually, Shukadev Goswami's potency is glorified in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There it's mentioned, somebody forget about meditating on Supreme Lord. Even if somebody meditates on Shukadev Goswami, they'll have all their sinful reactions destroyed. It's given like that. That's how powerful he is. But for the sake of pastime, he also was playing the role of an impersonalist. When Shukadev Goswami sees the Supreme Lord, how does he see? Simply, he developed the attraction for hearing about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Then he became attached to the form of the Lord, and then he becomes a personalist according to the pastime, even though he is a pure devotee eternally. Shukadeva Goswami addressed Parikshit Maharaj, my dear king, although I was fully situated in the transcendental position, I was nonetheless attracted to the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Therefore, I studied Srimad Bhagavatam from my father. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, the destroyer of all sinful reactions. Being full in self-realization and bliss, he had no material desire. Still, he was attracted by the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And out of compassion for the people, he described the transcendental historical literature called Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Sri Krishna attracts the minds of all the gopis with his beautiful transcendental bodily features. Dear Krishna, we have simply surrendered ourselves as your maidservants, for we have seen your beautiful face decorated with tresses of hair, your earrings falling upon your cheeks, the nectar of your lips and the beauty of your smile. Indeed, because we have also been embraced by your arms, which give us courage, and seen your chest, which is beautiful and broad, we have surrendered ourselves. The queens in Dwaraka, headed by Rukmini, are also attracted to Krishna simply by hearing about his transcendental beauty and qualities. Rukmini ji also, she hasn't seen Krishna until the day of marriage. She has only heard about Krishna from Narada Muni. Simply by hearing about Krishna from Narada Muni, she develops attraction. O most beautiful Krishna, I have heard about your transcendental qualities from others, and therefore all my bodily miseries are relieved. If someone sees your transcendental beauty, his eyes have attained everything profitable in life. O infallible one, I have become shameless after hearing of your qualities, and I have become attracted to you. Lord Krishna even attracts the mind of the goddess of fortune simply by vibrating his transcendental flute. Krishna attracts not only the minds of the gopis and goddesses of fortune, but the minds of all young girls in the three worlds as well. My dear Lord Krishna, where is that woman within the three worlds who would not be captivated by the rhythms of the sweet songs coming from your wonderful flute? Who would not fall down from the path of chastity in this way? Your beauty is the most sublime within the three worlds. Upon seeing your beauty, even cows, birds, animals, and trees in the forest become stunned in jubilation. So like this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving examples from the different sections of the Shastras about guna, how the qualities of the Supreme Lord, it's attracting. The examples that are given here, it's not just mentioning about conditioned souls. In fact, none of this is mentioning about ordinary jivas like us. They are all elevated souls. Nevertheless, despite being in such an elevated status, still their heart is running after Krishna. And then finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming to the word Hari. Although the word Hari has many different meanings, two of them are foremost. One meaning is that Lord takes away all inauspicious things from his devotees. In Skanda Puran, there is a verse that says, whoever chants these two syllables, Ha, Ri, they will have, Supreme Lord will come and he will steal away everything. Steal away all negative reactions, negative sinful reactions, steals away all problems and miseries in one's life. So, Hari means one who takes away all the trouble. So, we have come here to temple of Radha Gopinath. We look at Radha Gopinath and you just say Gopinath. You say Krishna. You say Hari. That's it. He comes and he takes away all the troubles in one's life. So, Hari has got that meaning. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Hari has got many meanings, of which two are foremost. One is that he takes away all inauspicious things. Hari Shabde Nanartha Dui Mukyatama Sarva Amangala Hari. Mangala means sublime, auspicious. That's Mangala. Amangala means anything which is negative. You know, we may have done something wrong in the past. Some trouble may be looming on top of our head, trying to land on us at any point of time. But whoever takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, immediately they'll have all the miseries taken away from them. We have discussed about this story of Prishadra that's given in Srimad Bhagavatam, who is a disciple of Vashishta. His service in the Gurukula was to protect the cows. So one night in pitch black darkness, he's holding a sword guarding the cows in Gurukula, in the thick of a jungle. And the Guru is taking care of all the disciples and they were taking rest. There was heavy rain, thunderstorm, and in the flash of the lightning, he actually spots a tiger that is ready to pounce on one of the cows. And accompanied by the thunder, he also hears the roar. So he raises the sword and then he tries to chop the head of the tiger. And then as soon as he hit, there was a heavy roar again. Immediately the spiritual master along with his disciples, they come out holding a torch, and much to the dismay of the Guru, he finds that instead of chopping the head of the tiger, Prishadra had accidentally landed the sword on the head of a cow and he accidentally killed the cow. Now in one swing, he had actually killed the cow, and he had also cut the ear, one of the ears of a tiger. Tiger was actually writhing in pain and it runs away into the forest. So he had saved the other cows. However, he ended up killing one accidentally. So when Vashishta actually sees that, he curses the disciple, being very upset with him. You are supposed to protect all the cows, but look what you have done. You don't know the difference between a cow and a tiger. You are a Jai, Masi. Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki Jai. So he curses him that may be born in a low birth as a Shudra without any knowledge of spirituality in your next life, because you have acted like that. Prishadra, you will see in the condition of the curse is that he is supposed to be born that way. He is supposed to lose his Brahminical culture. But Prishadra, he immediately takes up to devotional service, picks up the beads, chants Hare Krishna for the rest of the life, and then he goes back to the Godhead, to Vaikuntha in that very life. So he doesn't have to take birth again. So you will come across many instances where people, even though they have a lot of trouble in their lives, as soon as they come and take shelter, you see instance where Gajendra, when crocodile is actually starting to chew its legs, when Gajendra, elephant, when he realizes he's going to lose the battle now, at any point he can be pulled into the water and that will be the end of his life. At that time, he just picks up a lotus flower, offers it to Krishna, and Krishna comes down and he simultaneously, he pulls the elephant out and then he chops the crocodile also. You will see. Pastime. So in many instances, like this in Shastras it's given, whenever we come across any trouble, whenever we come across any distress, any problem in life, as soon as we take shelter of Krishna, he comes and then he takes away all the trouble. One of Krishna's name is Ripugna, one who is destroyer of all our enemies, also known as sinful reactions. Okay, so here Hari has got two meanings. First meaning, Sarva Amangala Hare. Anything which is inauspicious is taken away by the Supreme Lord. Prema Diya Hare Mana. And the second meaning is that he attracts the mind by ecstatic love of God. He not only just comes, saves and goes away. But when he comes to save, everyone looks at him, they forget their misery, everyone gets attracted to him. You will see Baumasura, pastime, also known as Narakasura. He was a demon. He would go conquer over the kings, steal the princesses, and he will bring them to his kingdom only to imprison them in a big prison house. Like that, he had defeated 60,000 kings and brought back 60,000 princesses there. And then the capital city was, if you read the description of that in Bhagavatam, it's given, the capital city was encircled by different lines of fences, barbed wire, electricity, it's given, fire, so on and so forth. And they were all under the charge of another demon who is his commander-in-chief, and his name is Mura. So Krishna then gets on board Garuda Airlines and he comes with Satyabhama. So you can see Krishna, how he does very uncommon things very coolly. You know, when you go to fight a demon like that, how much you will be prepared. You know, the hype which people create, how many people you will take to kill such a demon, such a powerful demon. Krishna goes to his wife, Satyabhama, and he says, I'm going for a ride. Would you like to join? Yes. You know, she also comes. He goes with his wife on Garuda, both of them. So simultaneously, he is having sweet dealings with Satyabhama and he is simultaneously fighting also, if you read the whole description. So there he kills Mura. That's how Krishna gets the name Murari. One who, Ari means enemy or one who is the killer. So Mura was the commander-in-chief of Baumasura. Krishna kills him and that's how he gets the name Murari. And then Krishna goes, finally kills Baumasura also, Narakasura. And then he goes and he breaks open the door of the prison house and he liberates all the 60,000 princesses. So it's given in Bhagavatam. They were all in distress and they were praying to God. Supreme Lord is there, being pleased with their prayers. He is there. He simultaneously took away their miseries. But not only that, he has also given himself to them. So he looks at them in Vedic times. Even now also you will see in many parts of India, if a girl actually stays out of her home even for a night, they will actually doubt the character of the girl. Now you imagine princess, not just ordinary girl. Here you are talking a princess of a kingdom. And they were taken away, held captive by this demon. Not one or two, 60,000 of them. So when Krishna looks at them, Krishna knew all too well that if they go, then everyone will doubt them. And not only that, Krishna, if somebody marries them, people will doubt their character also. Correct? But Krishna doesn't care about anything. For him, all that matters is whoever takes shelter, he will give protection straight away. Just like how even for Rukmini, when Rukmini sends the letter to Krishna, Krishna, my marriage is tomorrow, and it was arranged with this demon Shishupal, but I belong to you. How can I marry him? You come and marry. If you don't come, then I'll give up my life. And Krishna is in the middle of a battle. And Krishna knew if he goes, everyone will mock at him, saying, hey, you are afraid of running away. You are afraid of the battlefield and that's why you are running away. Krishna knew that all too well. We just saw one of Krishna's 64 qualities is Krishna is super intelligent. Krishna knew all too well. Still, he doesn't care. So, one of Krishna's name is Ranachor, one who ran away from battlefield. Krishna is the only person who will get glorified by that word. Historically, if you see any other king with that name, they will die out of shame. But for Krishna, butter thief, it's very sweet. When you address anything, even negatively used in a normal colloquial sense, you use it for Krishna, it's very sweet. Krishna is a thief. You can't very proudly say that. Put that in your resume and let's see where you get the job. So it doesn't work for us. For Krishna, anything is possible. Krishna steals and he gets away with that. Krishna dances with so many gopis, Krishna gets away with that. Because when demons look at it, demons are actually saying, look at it. I told you, right? Krishna is of doubtful character. Look, at the dead of the night, he is dancing with so many people. Like that, they are blaspheming him. And devotees, they are looking at it and Krishna, and they are saying, how sweet of Krishna. I would like to dance also. Lord Shiva is also going. Lakshmi is also going. Krishna can do one activity and simultaneously please everyone. Those devotees who want to get attracted, they get attracted. Demons, they will feel pleasure by blaspheming Krishna. So Krishna is giving them room as well. You understand? Krishna is samoham sarva bhuteshu name bhaktya sthina priyaha. Name dveshyo sthina priyaha. So Krishna is equal to everyone. He doesn't hate anyone. Krishna is equally satisfying. You want enough news? Okay, here it is. Take. Krishna gives much news for media also. Keep talking about it. But somehow if somebody glorifies Krishna, talks about Krishna, then they will get benefited that way. Krishna simply by killing demons, he gives them liberation. That's why he's called Mukunda. Even by killing he can give liberation. What to speak of us or anyone actually worshipping Krishna positively. Of course, 100% they will get. So in this way you will see Krishna, he doesn't just take away miseries, but he also gives bliss. And it's given when Krishna goes to that 60,000 princesses, Krishna is saying each one of them, some are short, some are tall, some are thin, some are little stout. And Krishna is expanding himself into 60,000, not just expanding himself, but he is expanding himself in a form which matches the princess. Which means if some princess is short, Krishna is taking a short form. If someone is tall, Krishna is taking a tall form. Someone is stout, Krishna is also taking a little stout form, like that. So Krishna is very personal when it comes to reciprocating. That's why he's called as Achyuta. Achyuta means the perfect reciprocator. You will never go unsatisfied when you come to Krishna. Anything little you give, Krishna will give so much more. In fact, Krishna will give himself. Okay, so here, although the word Hari has different meanings, two of them are foremost. One meaning is that Lord takes away all inauspicious things from his devotee, and the second meaning is that he attracts the mind by ecstatic love of Godhead. Love for God. When the devotee somehow or other always remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead anywhere and everywhere, Lord Hari takes away life's 4 miserable conditions. Would you like to know what the 4 miserable conditions of life are? Prabhupada is giving in the purport. The 4 miserable conditions are due to 4 kinds of sinful activities. When I read this first time, first one itself is used in a superlative degree in my place. Pataka. And that's just the low level here. Pataka means someone who has done a very extreme, grave sinful activity. They call it pataka, pataki. Okay, even if in feminine they use that in my place, even now colloquially. When I read that pataka, I thought, what can be more worse than this? Second, urupataka, mahapataka, atipataka, this is like maharati, rati, atirati. So this is the first is pataka, urupataka, mahapataka, atipataka. So pataka means preliminary sin. Urupataka means very great sin. Mahapataka, greater sin. Atipataka, topmost sin. So there are 4 miserable conditions that way. Okay, so, but Krishna, when devotee somehow or other always remembers Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tomorrow is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. Advaita Acharya, if you see in Panchatattva, Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita, Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, we say. Advaita Acharya, he is Mahavishnu and Lord Shiva combined. By his mercy only, one can get the mercy, kripa, grace of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So tomorrow is his appearance day. In Caitanya Caritamrta, we discussed this before also. Katanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram shukaram bhavet vishmrite viparitam syat Sri Chaitanyam namamitam. If somehow or other we remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the most difficult things become very easy. If we forget to do so, then even the most easy things will become very difficult. Have you got experience of even easy things sometimes not going your way? When you know 100%, sometimes you sit in one corner of the room, make a ball of a waste paper and you throw. I remember when they originally released iPhone, there used to be an app like that. You can play. In my office they used to play. You can throw. You can make a ball of waste paper and they throw. And it will land and you think, wow, today is a good day. And then later in the day you take a ball of paper and you go just right above and you throw, it will fall down. Not really, it won't land properly. Have you got that experience? Even simple things sometimes become very difficult. But in life, any material situation, spiritual situation will always be positive. Any material problem can at once be resolved if we somehow or other, katanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram shukaram bhavet. Shukriti, dushkriti. Shukriti means you get pious credit. Dushkriti means you get sinful reaction. Here it's given katanchana smrite yasmin. Somehow if you smrite, somehow if you remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, dushkaram shukaram bhavet. Difficult things become easy. Amangala becomes mangala. Negative things becomes positive. On the other hand, if we don't remember the Supreme Lord, even vishmrite viparitam striyat, if you somehow or other forget about the Supreme Lord, then even most easy things becomes very, very difficult. So, in Caitanya Caritamrta or in all of the Shastras, if you want to remember one verse, remember this. Somehow or other, we should remember the Supreme Lord, then even the most difficult things become very easy in our life. Any kind of problem. Although, when the devotee somehow or other always remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yaiche Taiche Yohi Kohi Kare Smarana Chari Vida Tapatara Kare Samharana Pataka, Urupataka, Mahapataka, Atipataka, all kinds of sins will go away. So Prabhupada says, however, Krishna assures, aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. In one morning walk, one devotee is saying, Prabhupada, Krishna is not the Supreme Lord. He takes the role of somebody to challenge Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says, all right. Prabhupada says, you play devil's advocate. Then he says, Krishna is not the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says, all right. So who is the Supreme Lord? Then the devotee tells to Prabhupada, because he's playing devil's advocate, he says, that we will tell you later. Prabhupada says, no problem. Until you find out, we will keep worshipping Krishna. Later on, you find out and tell me, till that point, we will worship Krishna. There, Prabhupada says in that morning walk, you see, Krishna is saying, aham tvam sarva papepya mokshishami ma suchaha. I will deliver you from all sinful reaction, do not fear. Prabhupada says, no other demigod, 330 million gods, even Lord Shiva doesn't make that statement. In fact, Lord Shiva himself says, Mukti I can't give, Mukti only Mukunda can give, worship Krishna. There is a verse actually. Lord Shiva himself says that. Okay, so, aham tvam sarva papepya moksheshami masuchaha. Prabhupada says, only Krishna claims that he is Supreme Lord. Nobody else has claimed. And you don't need to say, because Krishna is very proud. No, number one tennis player saying, I'm number one is not pride. You know, it's a fact. Just accept it. So, Krishna is saying here that, aham tvam sarva papepya moksheshami ma suchaha. He is capable and he is saying, imagine somebody found a cure for a pandemic. Complete cure. And they say, I have found it. There's nothing, like, it's not like somebody is making some self-aggrandizement, blowing their own trumpet, nothing. They are simply saying the fact. So here Krishna is saying, I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. And Krishna lives up to that promise in every single instance you see. Historically, every single Shastra, every single pastime you come across, tell me one instance where Krishna gave up on his devotee. No. Even devotees who are dead, son of Sandipani Muni, Krishna is going all the way to Yamaloka and he is bringing. And he is saying, no, going to Bali Maharaj, bringing from there. So you will see, Sadgunadi Kartatvam, Brahma Rudradi Mohanam, Bhakta Prarabdha Vidvamsam. Normally, if you read any Puranic stories, generally if there is a sin, they usually say, any curse, the word that came out of somebody's mouth and the arrow that left the bow can never be retract back. It's given. Now if you say, one of Krishna's qualities, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Bhakta Prarabdha Vidvamsam, which means, if I do some activity, for some I will get instant karma straight away. For some I have to wait tomorrow. For some I may need to wait for many lifetimes also. But if one sin is manifested, here we see Krishna is saying, aham tvam sarva papebhyo, I will take away all your sinful reactions. Now we may say, okay, sinful reactions is something that is going to come, Krishna will protect me. No, that's not Krishna. Krishna is saying, Bhakta Prarabdha Vidvamsam means, he can protect us from a sinful reaction that has already manifested. Like the case of Sandipani Muni's son. Because of his karmic reaction, he is already killed. He is already dead prematurely. Even when he was a young lad. And he was taken to the lower kingdom. Still, so which means it's prarabdha. It's already, sinful reaction is already in action. Krishna is still going and he is saying, on my account, wipe out everything, I want him back. And he is bringing him back. Again he is giving. Actually I was speaking to one devotee and he was saying, recently he was reading about Kunti Maharani's prayers to Krishna. There in Prabhupada is writing in one purport, actually Krishna favored Kunti Maharani, Krishna favored Pandavas more than even Mother Devaki. Because Devaki, Kunti Maharani had 5 sons. 3 and 2 from her co-wife. Or from Madri. So, here if you see, Krishna, he is not letting them die. So many different difficulties came to Pandavas. Krishna is always protecting the Pandavas. Whereas, Prabhupada is saying, whereas Mother Devaki, she lost her 6 sons. Of course, Krishna brings them back later, much later. but he didn't protect them from falling dead. So Prabhupada is saying Krishna actually is more favorable to Pandavas than even Mother Devaki. He is favoring Kunti Maharani even more than Mother Devaki, like the Prabhupada says. So here we have to understand Krishna, any activity that we actually do, any sinful reaction that's looming or it's already started to manifest, the only person who can actually protect us from that is Krishna only. As all fuel is burned to ashes by a full-fledged fire, all sinful activities are totally erased when one engages in service to me. In this way, when all sinful activities are vanquished by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one gradually vanquishes all kinds of impediments on the path of devotional service, as well as the ignorance resulting from these impediments. After this, one totally manifests his original love of Godhead through devotional service in 9 different ways. So, in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the beautiful explanation of this word Hari. I'll finish with this final one, and then Cha Api. We'll start that tomorrow. When one's mind, senses and body are attracted to the transcendental qualities of Hari, one gives up 4 principles of material success, which is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Thus I have explained the chief meanings of the word Hari. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will continue with the other words. I'll stop here. Any questions or comments?
Was there any point in time where Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva also considers Krishna as the supreme, was there any point in time when there was a battle between them or something like that, where even he surrenders to Krishna himself?
Yeah, there is a...
Shiva himself is very, very powerful.
Just like how Jai Vijay, they fight with the Supreme Lord, not thinking that they are superior to Supreme Lord, but simply to give pleasure. So same way, there is a pastime that's actually given in the 10th canto about a battle between Lord Shiva and Krishna. So you can read that in Krishna book actually. And there you will see. And there are many instances where Lord Shiva also glorifies Krishna, and there are many instances where Krishna also glorifies Lord Shiva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also glorifies Lord Shiva. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whenever, especially in South Indian tour, he goes, even if he goes to a temple of Lord Shiva, he would stand there and he will glorify Lord Shiva as the greatest Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, like that. But yes, there is a pastime that's in 10th canto itself of Srimad Bhagavatam about, even battle. There you will see all family members of Lord Shiva also fighting the battle. Ganesh, Kartikeya, and Krishna's sons, Pradyumna, they will fight. So, it's in Krishna book as well, you can read that. Okay. We'll stop there. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Shri Caitanya Caritamrta ki jai, Samaveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath's devotees ki jai, devotees in Mahaprabhu YouTube and Facebook ki jai, Jai Nittai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bo.